I decided before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to read a few poems. Now, this poetry took place after I had just been abused for quite some time and had to, unfortunately, return to it for a second time against my wishes. I can't talk about it right now. I can't share my whole story right now. But one day I will. Now, this poetry, like I said, took place after I found out that the beautiful life that I had been living was now gone. At least temporarily. And I was thrown right back into the frying pan. So this poetry was written during that time period. And keep in mind, just because someone writes sad or depressing poems does not mean that they do not have God. It just means that that's truly how they feel. And when you're being abused, sometimes writing poetry helps you to get your feelings out and helps you to feel better. I knew that God was with me. I knew that. But I had to write and I had to get out what I was feeling. So I'm just going to share a couple of those poems with you. I'm going to put it all in one video. So I'm just going to keep reading, and then when I'm done, I will talk to you guys when I talk to you. The first poem is called Eternity Past. This is a poem about how I wanted to go back to my life of happiness, but yet I couldn't. I was kept from doing that. Have you ever felt like you wanted to go into the past? Well, this poem is for you. And here's the reality. Even so, the past is as unreachable as the heavens and all their lucidity. You cannot reach the past, even if your desire would be to journey into its most temporary realms. Yet it does seem so very unfair that our minds can journey into its arms where our bodies cannot lie. The past is lost forever in a distant void. The past is gone away, never to return. The doorway to the past is locked. The lock on this passageway cannot be removed, for there is no key. The past would ask of you, do not cry for my return. Why stand forlorn outside of my gates? My gardens are full of treasures you once adored, but are no more. My rivers are drunk with countless tears, the tears you cried when I said goodbye. My hills and valleys are now just deep dark shadows, and if you would even attempt to wander there, you would become lost. In the light of the sun, I become a vast desert wasteland where you are left alone with depression and despair. Even though the present does not appear to be your friend, and the future will not reveal itself to you, you must move on, for there is nothing left for you here. There is only an eternity of sadness. So you see, guys, you can't go back into the past. That door is locked, even though you may want to very, very badly. Alright, this next poem is called Searching for Hope. Time passes very swiftly, losing me as it rushes on its way. I must catch up with it. My eyes are dark as they strain to see what lies ahead for me. My hair, it blows into tomorrow's wind, for today already came and went. Hope runs to hide again, but I am searching for her, as she calls to me from afar. She is so far away, will I ever find her again? Maybe this time she will return to me. The day is but a memory as it surrenders to the night. Hope once again lost in the silvery moonlight. This one's called Dream. Here I am, alone again. This loneliness consumes me. I continue to stay in a world of my own, remembering what seems like a distant dream, wondering if it was real, knowing it was. Reality was not hard to deal with then. My reality now is like a bitter herb that I must choke down. I long to go on another journey. I long to escape. I have no way to get out. I have no way to get there. I have no way to sustain there. I can only hope to go there in a dream. This is just basically called loneliness. Bright sunlight illuminates the day to expose my dull existence. Afternoon soon arrives, casting shadows to remind me that another day has passed into futility. Clouds drift through the sky, reminding me how much time continues on to pass me by. The trees wave at my despair and rustle to add to the maddening silence. The ground is bare and only reminds me how empty my life is. There are no footsteps on my path. When night falls, I can escape for a time, sleep, dream, only to awaken to another long, lonely day. This one is a little bit longer, a little bit maybe more deep. This is called No Escape. So much talking, and I am not listening. So much talking about things that do not offer comfort, escape, or intrigue. Living with the excruciating pain of knowing that nothing is a comfort anymore. There is no escape from reality. There is no intrigue. The gray sky makes you mad with sadness and despair. The sky is always crying where you are. There is no comfort for your sorrow, except to escape into a world of your own, if you can create one. You stare into the distance, missing what once was, wishing you had something new to fill the emptiness inside of you. The leaves on the trees are as still as your life has been. A suffocating silence hangs in the air. You hear the lonely sound of a dog barking. You live inside of a house, but you are not at home. You have the warmth of a blanket, but not the warmth of loving arms. There are people present, but no one to talk to. You have food to eat, but it does not seem to satisfy. You feel totally alone and forgotten, like a lonely ant crawling on the pavement. The hours pass so slowly, and you cannot help but to wonder what you're waiting for. You are so sick to death of waiting. You desire so desperately to go somewhere else, anywhere but in this house, in this town. It is like a dead man's tomb. There is a fog that hangs over this place that makes you want to sleep. You cannot even think. You worry that you may never get out of here. You want to silence the voices outside your window. After all, how can they even stand to be here? The cars are always driving away from you and never to you. The footsteps are always walking away from you and never to you. Even now, the house is deadly silent, and you wonder who in their worst sickness could leave you alone in this situation. You desperately pace the floor and search for something to break the monotony. Your past at this point seems just a dream you had. Your present is a nightmare. Your future may never be. One day I'll be able to talk about the pain that I experienced, and that will be for another time. Everyone have a good night.